All right, so after watching, there's a video with Zach Wish. That's his name, yeah, Zach Wish, on YouTube of him playing with a Matchless HC30, and it's such a great video. And he's using a 57, I think it's a 57, but definitely a Neumann TLM 102. So I had two 57s on here, and it was cool. I tried a ribbon mic. I didn't like that. The cab is like not as bright as this. This has like a Celestian Gold and a Vintage 30. But this cab is cool, man. So I got this TLM 102. I love this thing. And I got that thing smack dab in the center dust cap. And I think it's just perfect. Well, I like it anyway. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to record a little bit. The other thing, too, is I pulled the divided by 13 and I was going to sell it. And then I pulled it, I put it back up there. And what it does, I really like. It's really funky and fender cleans and fender breakup, and it's cool. It's just, it's new for me. So we're gonna run these through a couple of cabs and kind of hear what we got going on. Alrighty then.
Now tonight we are so excited to introduce our first guest. He's been on our show before and he's here again to lend his expertise. Please welcome celebrity vocal coach James Lugo.
Okay, this is going to be cool. I was going to sell the Matchless cab, but I was thinking, well, maybe I'll get one that's like matching the amp, and it's just like non-existent, man. These companies are not building anything, so we're keeping it. So after and then chatting a little bit with this Zach Wish guy, and the other about the TLM 102, the other person that uses it is Ola Englund. That's his go-to. And I was looking at the Warm 87, which probably would be a little brighter, which I don't think that I would like as much. I listened to a voiceover comparison between the two, and the Warm audio was definitely brighter. So I'm like, I don't know about that. I like the TLM 102, kind of was right in the sweet spot, and it's also small, and with that little swivel mount or whatever, it pops up there just like a 57. It's not like a big shock mount. So anyway, here we go. So this is channel 2 of the Matchless. So we'll call this Matchless channel 2 Strat. And it's really dialing in. And this is now through the Matchless cab. So it's a 57 and it's a TLM 102. So the 57 is on. There's two speakers in the cabinet. One is a greenback. The other is a G12H, like a Heritage H. Yeah. So the 57 is on the greenback, and the TLM 102 is on the H cabinet. And I got to give a shout out to Zach, man. His video, anybody's got a chance to ever watch this, look it up. It's Matchless, I think it's called Holy Grail Amp, HC30. Dude's name is Zach Wish. It's killer. It is killer, and it makes me want to stop noodling and start making music on here, because he plays all these cover songs, and he plays like Jeff Buckley, and I mean, he's just crazy. He's so good. So anyway, he's a nice guy too, so here we go. So Matchless channel 2 with the Matchless cab. That's just so... The other thing, too, is I got this Matchless to sound virtually identical to my AC30. This guitar makes everything a little bright, but oh my God. All right, now we're going to try it into cab 1. Same thing, but now I got to switch the ohmage. Because remember, the Matchless ohmage is 4 ohms, but this cabinet is 8 ohms. So hold on. So here's 1 and 2. And the thing is, I have a pair of APIs, preamps, a pair of A-Design Reds. I don't have to keep going in there, but for these purposes, I'm doing it this way so that everything is the same. So, or same, going through the same preamps. So now we're going into the gold cabinet, which I'm not going to change the settings. Oh shoot. You got to take that 48 volts out with that ribbon. I got to watch that. This is my first time doing this. Okay, so this is the other 212 that I have up there. It's just a VHT that I got empty, and I threw left speakers the Vintage 30, which is this, which is a 57, and then the one to the right is an Alnico Celestian Gold, which has a Royer 121 on it. So it's a very different sounding cab, but yeah, I'm playing kind of basically the same thing. Settings are all the same. It's going through the BAE Neves. Now the amp is at 8 ohms. So. Seems like a lot more distortion, right? Must be the volume's not any different though. At 8 ohms, maybe the amp's a little. I don't know that it matters that much. Let's even this out a little bit more. It's more compressed. You see the difference? Same basic playing, same everything, but speakers are different. So here is the gold cab. And then here's the Matchless cab. That's crazy. They're so different. They're both cool. I mean, and here's the thing, researching this, all these kind of boutique companies are, the people that are into them are very brand strong, like if they're divided by 13, it's like they feel that the divided by 13 shines the most with a divided by 13 cabinet. And same thing with Matchless. So there's Matchless in its environment right here. Wow, that's crazy. And now the gold cab. That's just so crazy, man. All right, so that's just crazy. Now what we're going to do is we're going to shut the Matchless off. Oh, no, we're going to shut the Matchless off. And we're going to go into channel 1 of the divided by 13. And we'll put this in the gold cab to start with. Let's give it a second. You know, I'm learning all this stuff is cool, man. We'll come here and we'll go divided by 13, channel 1 strat, strat, right? Strat. There you go. Start. Did I spell it start? You spell start so many times that when you go to do strat, sometimes you do start. So we will just stay in this cab and then we'll flip it over to the Matchless cab. Yeah, let's see. We're gonna have the gain in the, you know, the volume knob pops out. We'll just go non-popped out. That's great. Okay, so this is a divided by 13 FTR 37, treble at about 2, bass at about 10, reverb on 0, volume just above noon, channel 1, no gain pull. Touch more. Okay, and this is now also running at 8 ohms. And I think watching Zach's video has me hooked on this chord. I don't know that he even does that, but there's something about that video. Y'all get a chance to watch. That's a good video, dude. I mean, you know, not everything on YouTube is awesome, but that's awesome, man. He can play too. He's a cool guy. All right, so now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna switch over now to the Matchless cab. So we're going to take and put this on standby. We're going to plug in the Matchless cab, but we got to move the speaker cable over to the 4 ohm jack. It's not as slick as the Matchless one, but there you go. And now we rotate these over. Now again, we've got to go back on the second channel of the BAE to we got to go back to phantom power because it's a condenser. So now if I come here, I go here, and now I come here. This should work. You see there's no sound because I've got to do that. Oh, that's loud. Take that. So now we're on that divided by 13, the exact same settings, and we got a 57 on the greenback cab in the matchless cab and the TLM 102 on the heritage speaker. Divided by 13, channel 1. Right? Yeah. Position 2. Let's try it. Okay. Oh man, this is a cool video though, man. There's not a lot of great videos of any of these of these divided by 13s, man. They don't have their demo game on. They should probably hire Zach, right? But I think he's a matchless cat. So there we go. So we'll go back to the beginning right here, which is, this is the divided by 13 in, let me shut off that. Got to get in the habit of shutting off the phantom power because that channel also rides my ribbons. And no phantom power for ribbons, bad for ribbons. Good for condensers, bad for ribbons. So here is divided by 13 on the gold cab. And then divided by 13 on the matchless. Funny, the matchless cab is, it's like your friend with almost no sense of humor. You know, it has no sense of humor. It's very dry. It's very like tight, like just. And then the gold cab, party time, totally different trip. Oh. So here's the divided by 13 with the gold. Here's the matchless with the gold cap. The matchless is in channel 2 and it's got more grit, but you get an idea. This is just. Now here's a question. Really excited. I have a Celestian blue that I could put in that cabinet with that gold. But what I have in there is a vintage 30. Now, and I want to listen to this now, fresh. But it seemed like the vintage 30 is really thin. I mean, and, well, granted, this is a 57 on the vintage 30, and there's a 121 a ribbon on the gold. But at one point I put 257s up, and I was surprised just in general. And it could be that that gold is right next to it, and it's just bleeding over all that brightness because the gold is real bright. But here's the vintage 30 isolated with the 57 through the Brené or the BAE. That sounds cool. And then here it is with the divide. Yeah, all right, so I'm just going to keep it the way it is, because when I did put the gold and the blue together, there was something a little kind of, I don't know, like, it was warm, but it was kind of, it somehow neutralized. It didn't sound as exciting. And also, a couple of my friends said, oh yes, it sounds like a lot more gain because the blue is only 15 watts. So I'm just going to stay with this. So we're going to just listen through a second of this. So here's Matchless with the vintage 30 gold cab. And now with the Matchless cab. Nice the way I played that part too. Let's get that, like, the way the pick came off. That sounds so expensive to me, Matchless with the Matchless cab. Yeah, and so here's the 57 on the greenback. And here's the 102 on the Heritage. That's beautiful. And when I had a 57 on both, and the 57 on both, it was cool. It sounded fine, but when I put the 102 on today and I went back and forth, it was like, oh yeah, it's got more dimension. Because that's the thing that I notice a little bit about the Matchless sound in general. It's very direct. It's very like primary tone. And it could just be the EL84s and just the way it is. It's very, though it seemed to have a little bit more space around the notes at first than my Vox. And then I started to realize it's pretty much the same. They just sound slightly different. Yeah, they just sounded slightly different. Vox sounds great. I mean, it's a classic. They both sound great. So here is divided by 13 into the Matchless cab. Wow, and now divided by 13 to the gold. I have to write a song that fits. I love that. So happy. Now Matchless with gold cab. It's more like oh man, it sounds more like it's huddling. The sound is like focused, like more, where like this sounds more, and then divided by 13, very different. And that was what I was wondering, like, because I basically got these two amps, about at the same time, and they were both amps that I wanted to try. I didn't know if I wanted either one of them. I'd never worked with them. I'd only heard people use them. And, they're boutique amps, so, you're not going to go down to Guitar Center and be like, hey, let me plug in your divided by, it's not going to happen. So both of these I bought after playing them for, like, a couple of minutes.
Hey, Dad.
What's up?
I have a kid.
Well, no. Is that full of water?
Yeah,
What
it's
is-
my kid, so...
Okay, take it outside.
I would never...
Okay, take it outside. He's bringing water balloons into the studio. It's a party around here. But anyway, so, and I wasn't totally sure, when I first got him here, I was like, oh man. But, yeah, they're great. I love them both. And I love them both. The Divided by, they both took me a while, though, to get the hang of, to get used to. And I honestly, with humbuckers, they're cool too. It's different. I think my nature for humbuckers is Marshalls, Bogners, more that kind of thing. But like for single coils and like my Jazzmaster, I love things like AC30s and like deluxe reverbs and that kind of stuff. So these are more in that vein to me. But that, like last night I was recording the second channel of the Divided by 13, which is, I don't even know what it is. It's the volume knob, just a volume knob and like a tone clicker. I don't know. It's similar to the second channel of the Matchless. I don't know, but it's got its own sound. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like almost like a Tweed or something. Like it's kind of, I don't know, So I was recording with it, and I was like, oh man, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh wait, this is actually really cool. Like it'll work in certain settings. It's obviously I wouldn't do some heavy rock thing maybe with it, but maybe depending on what you want. But it took me a little while to get used to that. But last night when I was playing, I was like, oh, this is actually really cool, man. And then I saw like the value in that sound. The other thing I noticed, so here's a little shout out. Just about, and this is just my opinion, just about every demo on YouTube of these Divided by 13 amps is not good. In my opinion, they're just not good demos. They're okay in the clean stuff, but once they come in with the crunch, it's all fuzzy, and they didn't like address it and figure out a way around it. I don't know. It was like a turnoff to me. Now, when I started firing it up, it did have some fuzz to it. You just got to kind of, I think the thing like with Channel 2 on the Divided is not go too cranked up with that tone dial. As it got too much, it was like, it just felt like the amp was being choked. Down lower, it was more the kind of sound I like, or sounds that I like. So anyway, that's just my opinion, but I don't know if even if Divided by 13 is a company anymore. I got to be honest with you. I went on looking around the other day for cabs and stuff, and was thinking about this, that, and about half of on their website, about half of the companies that they say are their dealers don't have them on their website anymore, and the other half have no stock, like zero. Like one or two people had like some kind of comp, like a combo, but they didn't have any of like the big ticket, the big, these amps or those RSA 23s or whatever, and no cabs. So yeah, who knows, man. I mean, COVID obviously walloped a lot of people, and it was hard, I guess, to get parts and transformers, and things may go first to obviously companies like Fender and Mesa Boogie or whatever, or Friedman, that are like selling a lot of amps. So maybe they got short-sticked. I don't know. But there's a whole bunch of opinion I probably should just cut out. But yeah, you got it. That's it. So one more listen through and we're out. Divided by 13 Gold Cab. as the top, and then the underneath rhythm, we had like a double, would be the Matchless and the Matchless cab. with this double, man, that would just be money. Anyway, so here's the Matchless with the gold cab. That's really nice. So I'm so happy. And divided by 13 Matchless cab. Matchless cab. They sound more similar there, and it could be too that maybe that cab is has a very dominant sound. So here's the Matchless. And divided by 13 and Matchless. It's a little thinner, but you see it's weird, like it sounds cleaner. Like here's the divided by 13 with the gold. It's got more like grit and just. That's it. That gives you everything. And I've also got a Mesa 212 closed back, vintage 30 cap. But we don't. That doesn't matter right now. We're not worried about that. So, oh God, I gotta go. Peace.